You know I try to be a good man. I always give it my best. But truth be told, someday I want to go to the wild, wild west.
And now, live from our Smokehouse studio, it's time for Real Estate Jerky. All your real estate questions answered by our provocatively lean expert host, Ed Parcaut, MBA, veteran, and president of Lending for Living. And today's special expert guest, real estate advice you won't find anywhere else. Plenty to chew on, starting now.
Well, good afternoon. It's great to be here with my special guest, Anita Hellam, Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity here in Stanislaus, and our favorite visiting realtor, Betsy Hurst-Younger, Century 21 Wildwood Properties in Twain Harte. How you guys doing today? Or you ladies, I should say.
Women. I'm doing great.
Yeah, me too.
Volume over there okay? All right. So we wanted to have Anita back again, talk about, because Habitat Humanity is having a 30-year anniversary, is that correct?
Right. Yesterday we kicked off our 30th anniversary.
Wow. 30 years.
Yeah.
How long have you been there the whole time?
No. Habitat was 13 years old when I started, and I am just pretty surprised that that I was there on my 30th too.
Yeah, teenagers are the hardest to deal with, aren't they?
Exactly.
Most people say, let me know when they come back when they're in their 20s. Yeah. Anyway, one of the things here at Real Estate Jerky, we want to help people get into homes because home ownership is one of the number one goals that we have here at Real Estate Jerky. So, Betsy, what you been up to? Because you weren't here last week because we had Jamie Eager here about home warranties, and it would have been a great show for you.
It would have been a great show.
Were you getting your hair done or something?
I was getting my hair done by Jamie's sister. Exactly. And I'm excited because we have power.
Today you have power?
We have power. Twain Harte actually just came back on, and they're rolling up the hill. We're not sure if everyone else up there.
Yeah, it's amazing how much power has been out this year, and versus a lot of other years. I mean, I don't think someone was saying about fires. They've never seen so much about fires and power outages.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and it's interesting to hear the helicopters go overhead as they're checking the power lines, and the trucks are up and down the streets for PG&E, making sure their lines are clear. And then about an hour and a half later, the power comes back on.
Well, I mean, not that we had a lot of wind here in Modesto, but our phone lines were down because the cable was broken from the wind outside of our building.
Was that yesterday?
A couple of days ago, yeah.
Okay, because yesterday some of the internet went down for us up there.
Wow, this week?
Yep, it's been good.
Well, that's good.
I mean, it's actually been nice weather. It's cooling down. We're looking forward to rain and snow.
Okay. It's like, because I think you posted something this week, a year ago, that there was a lot of rain.
It was 4 years ago. There was so much rain. It was pouring down the streets. It was just like rivers.
Well, because this year we haven't really seen any weather yet.
Nothing.
You can jump in here anytime. It's not just Betsy and I talking here. You can come on in anytime.
Well, I heard the bad news. I guess we don't have an El Nino pattern this year, so they're predicting warm and dry.
Warm and dry.
I didn't hear that.
I didn't either.
Yeah, it came out. It was a news break about 4 days ago.
Maybe my pumpkins I planted late have a chance.
Or deer food.
Yeah, exactly. Or in our case, we have wild rabbits also.
Oh, yeah. And do you have raccoons?
We have raccoons. We have mountain lions. We have bears.
And a lot of dogs.
And I have a lot of dogs that look like bears. When you have a 170-pound dog, people think it's a pony or a bear.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Betsy, what do you know about Habitat for Humanity? I can never say that right.
Well, I know up in Tuolumne County, we have a subdivision that's built by Habitat for Humanity.
That's a totally different chapter,
yeah.
Right, Anita?
It is, yeah.
Right, but I think they do that in other areas, right? And then I've been to fundraisers, and we have one of the board members for International Habitat for Humanity that lives in our area. So I know that you can do sweat equity. You have to have certain credit. I don't know a whole lot, so that's why I'm here.
Great. Well,
I think I do, but when you fundraise and help fundraise, it's one thing, but to actually be there and do the building and the physical work, it's completely different.
Anita, it's great to have you back here with us. Since you were on last, I became a board member, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you for coming on board.
All right.
So what, you want to get into a little bit about what the celebration is, Habitat,
Sure.
and we need to go. I think I want to go back also about what you guys do, what's involved, because not everybody, listens to our show each week. I know most people do, but not all of our listeners do. So it'd be nice to just quickly go back into that.
Right. So, we're not a charity. We're not giving people homes. We're basically providing an opportunity for people to work really hard to actually help build their own homes. And then once it's paid, they repay the value of the home to the organization. And basically, through financing that we offer, which is 0% interest. And so the fact that there is volunteer labor, it reduces the cost. And then you have the 0%, you start to be able to make a home affordable for a household that would otherwise not be able to afford to purchase their own home.
Now, is a recipient required to do 300 hours?
It's 500 in our
500,
community.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's 300 up where we are, and you're allowed to have family members and friends help up to 100 hours of that time.
Yeah, we also allow friends and family to help, and you sometimes need a lot of friends and family to help out when you need to do 500 hours.
I bet.
That's a lot of time.
I was
It
going to
is.
say 40 hours a week.
And they're folks that work full time, so they're coming out on Saturdays. They're
Right.
coming out, they're coming out 4 or 5 people representing them to get their hours in on a Saturday.
And are there people there to teach them how to do their own work?
Yes, so we do have skilled technicians on the ground that supervise and help guide the volunteers. And there are different levels of work too. So sometimes folks have a disability, or they have a fear of getting hurt with a power tool or something like that. So we try to accommodate different skill sets.
So they're not
Yeah.
all up on the roof.
Preferably not.
Okay.
The skilled workers are
The
up on
skilled
there.
workers are, yeah.
Now, with the 30-year anniversary, you had a block party this week, or
We did. We had a celebration yesterday. We invited all of our partners to come out, all the people that live in Habitat houses. It was great to see people who've been in their house 10, 15, 20 years.
and this is at River Vista.
Right. So it's a little subdivision that we're building in Modesto. It's 21 units. It's over by the old SOS Club. It's now Aspire's charter school. And they came out, and it was great. We also got to meet a lot of our board members. We got to meet some of our sponsors and donors, and then we got special recognition from the Congressman Harder's office. He gave us a recognition for our 30-year anniversary, and that was really nice.
Nice. Good.
Well,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, I couldn't be there. I had some evening signings, so yeah.
Oh, well.
Next year, next 30, in 30 years from now, the next one. So let's go back through some of the requirements, shall we, about what's for families and stuff. What are the requirements for Habitat families? We talked about 500 hours.
Okay,
Right.
so we qualify based on 3 basic criteria. So we look at eligibility in terms of income. We're serving people that are at or below 80% of the area median income. And so in Stanislaus County, that income is provided by the federal government. It's a HUD number, and I don't know off the top of my head, but I want to say it's about $56,000 for a family of 4 this year. And so you would have to, for a family of 4, you'd have to make 80% of that total. But you can get on our website, or really you can get on the federal website and look at the AMI numbers. Those change year to year. So 80% or less. We also are looking for a minimum of a 600 credit score.
Okay.
We're looking for folks that have 2 years steady employment and evidence of that. At least one of the signers has to be here with legal status.
Okay.
And each of the adults that live in the house, their income does have to count toward the household income. So if you have 4 or 5 adults, you could become over income, even because we have to take into consideration all incomes.
It's basically the same thing that we do for some of our programs that we have. We look at the same thing, 80% USDA's, they look at ratios, and then you have CalHAFA, those kind of things. You run into the same kind of stuff.
Well, there's actually a minimum income also.
Well, you got to
yeah.
be,
Yeah.
for ratios.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
No, but I mean, there's a minimum and a maximum.
We have to be able to pay back for the house.
Of course,
So-
it's not a free program. It's
Right.
Yeah, it's not a charity, like she said.
Exactly.
So when we get back, let's go through. We got to take a break. When we get back, let's go through what your mission is, that kind of stuff, and we'll go more into these requirements. Sound good?
Sound good.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with Anita Hellam, Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity, and Betsy Hurst-Younger. And if you need to get a hold of us, you can dial pound 250, say the key phrase real estate jerky. That's pound 250, the key phrase real estate jerky, and we'll talk to you when we get back.
Yeah, I wondered why there was 2 different columns.
Some people don't know their monthly income versus their annual.
What do you mean, with a minimum and a max?
Right,
Yeah.
because if they earn less than that, they'll not be able to repay the house.
Right. But I mean, it's not very much where we are. Our 4-person max is really close to what you guys probably are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We just going into
You know,
segment
just
2?
so that it's.
Yes,
I
unless
like
you
that.
want to go do something else.
Yeah.
This is you as much as me today.
Well, it's like what realtor questions would I ask?
You know
Well,
what? Yeah, go. Sorry.
Go.
About whether they
I'll
could
tell you what I
resell
was
their
thinking.
home and stuff like
yes,
that?
I would
Okay.
tell you what I was thinking. Like Beth was asking me last night. Was it last night or whenever the girls? Yeah, when I brought the girls when I came back. What happens if I start making money? Because I'm eventually going to finish school, and then what? You know, and I'm like, well, then if you're then you can
It's set up to
refinance
make
the
money.
house,
Mhm.
and they get paid off. You still live there. You make a house payment just like you would, and it's and then if things happen and you want to sell it, you can. If you want to move away because of your job, she was like, just like that. And I go, yes. So 5 years down the road, 6 years down the road, you're making bank as a nurse, refi the house.
Is that how that works? No.
No.
Exactly. We can talk about that.
I'll ask, and you can explain.
Not, because there's a second on
Yeah,
the
you can
house
make,
to
you
the
can make
value.
money, but
It depends on the agreement you have with the person that you're building the house with. So
Yeah,
like sometimes there's an affordability covenant that runs concurrent with the actual title of the property.
Right.
So like at River Vista, there's an affordability clause for 20 years.
Oh, okay.
So regardless
But
of whether you pay it or not, it has to be occupied by low income at the point that they're qualified to purchase the home.
Right,
So as long as the family was at low income when they qualified, they can continue to reside there.
right.
But when the title transfers, the new buyers have to be eligible.
so she's saying in 20 years from now. So
Ah.
if you're making money and you want
That
to
keeps you from
move,
making $100,000 in equity.
Well,
you're paying them back.
but you pay them back, because I thought it was, that used to be, at least what
Well,
I understood,
because
is they had
it
a second
changes.
for the value.
We have different agreements with every city and every
Ah.
project, and so like what you learned about something 25 years ago
Was not the
isn't
same.
going to necessarily apply to a new project.
Okay.
So-
So those are the kind of questions.
Yeah,
Yes.
it changes, it depends on the project.
And
Yeah.
Those are the kind of
But
questions.
for the most part, they're always gonna at least get the principal they paid back,
Mhm.
always.
So Betsy, those are like, when I say realtor questions, how does this differ from a
Conventional sale,
typical real estate transaction?
Right.
Right.
Which would be good for the show. So can we?
Yeah.
Bye.
12 minutes in the segment. So when we come back, talk about your mission, the mission. I don't think we brought that up.
Sure.
And then we can talk about some of the different things. And then Betsy, you can ask that question. We can bring up what happens. I think we talked about it last time where if somebody started making money, can they stay? Or do they have to leave? Or do they have to sell? So that's basically what. It's not a low income forever where you can't make money.
Right.
It's to help it get a foot up,
Right.
from what I understand.
Yeah, we actually see that our families improve generally.
Because of home
We
ownership.
hope so.
Well, yeah,
The
but I
whole
mean,
purpose of home
yeah.
ownership is to help build personal wealth
If people
somewhere.
are renting and the rents keep going up and up, they have to get a second job, they don't have time to study. But if their mortgage is steady, they are able to study and get a better
Hey,
job.
when you gotta tell me time, you have to go over this way, because Betsy's head's in my way. Oh, I'm sorry, you understand what I'm saying? You have to point over here, because I can't see, I can't keep doing that. Raise your hand up higher when you wanna give me 2 minutes, I is what I'm getting at.
And now that my kids are grown, the eyes are not in the back of my head anymore.
You know the weirdest thing is, I can no longer block my phone. It's like I put it on like airplane mode or whatever, and that stuff still gets through now.
Oh, like the news breaks and stuff.
Anything. It's
Yeah.
like, all right. So one last time, remember, don't bring up yesterday. So I tried to like this week on the River Oaks.
Yesterday was so
Oh,
scary.
yeah.
That's okay. It's not a big deal. It's just
Yeah.
that way we can replay it.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be,
Yeah.
don't
No,
be.
that's true.
All right. So let's come back and then we'll pick it up. When you're ready. 12 minutes this time. I'll let you know this time I didn't. I couldn't see him pointing.
Okay.
Real Estate Jerky is back on Power Talk 1360. Chew on that.
That's right, we're back. And for those of you just tuning in, I'm Ed Parcaut, mortgage advisor with Lending for Living, and I'm your host, and I'm here with my special guest. I have Anita Hellam, who is the executive director with Habitat for Humanity of Stanislaus, or I guess it's just Stanislaus, not of Stanislaus, and Betsy Hurst-Younger, realtor with Century 21 Wildwood Properties in Twain Harte. Mm-hmm. So we were before the break, we were talking about qualifications, and I said, well, when we come back, let's talk about their mission, and then we'll get into some qualifications. Does that work for you, Anita?
Sure.
Works for me.
All right. Well, what's the mission?
So we're just exist to try to provide housing solutions for folks here, in the Central Valley.
So that's the mission of the.
Right. We want to eliminate poverty housing.
Okay. So speaking of poverty, so I think one of our questions during the break was, if somebody gets into the house, right, and they're in the poverty level or not, but what it works for to qualify for the house, and then they start making money, what's the plan, right?
Right.
That was the question, Betsy, I think?
It is.
Okay.
One of them. Yeah.
So
I don't want to speak for you, so feel free to talk.
So sometimes people are afraid, or they anticipate that in the future they will have a higher income level than they have at the time that they're applying for our program. And we actually we hope families will succeed once they've purchased their homes. Basically, the way that the agreement, we have individual partners with different cities, different jurisdictions that we work. And for the most part, the people that we partner with want to guarantee affordable housing for a certain period of time. So let's say it's a 20-year affordability clause. The family at the point of purchase was eligible. If they choose to sell the house, we would have first right of refusal. We would purchase the property back and ensure that another low-income family purchased it. But they would be able to continue living in the house until they chose to sell it.
So would that be at fair market value that it would be repurchased?
Right. My fair market looks different than someone else's because I have to turn around and sell it to a low-income buyer.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. How does Habitat find their homes?
So we're looking all the time for homes on the market that are under market value. We are able to utilize volunteer labor and materials and supplies, renovate them, and then resell them. We do that occasionally, probably about half the time, and then we build from scratch about the other half.
How many homes have you guys done?
Around 100.
And that includes the 21 at River Vista?
Well, those are lots. They're not finished over
they're
there.
not lots. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not finished.
Only half
okay.
of those have been built.
Nice. I know in our area, I don't think they've all been built out either in the little subdivision that they started a few years ago.
Well, you have to do it with your own money, right, basically, unless you get grants, and that's hard to, right?
Right. So, we built a subdivision using bank financing, and it was a lot easier because you get in, you borrow the money, you build the houses, and then if you can get a third-party bank to come in and do a 0% equivalent loan, you can pretty much pay back your construction financing. If your partner doesn't allow that to happen, then you have to try to find other ways to raise the money. So it makes it harder.
So your partner, you mean like if it was with the city of Modesto or
For
something?
example,
Okay.
yeah. Like if they didn't subordinate their lien position.
For the whole project?
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it just depends. Some projects we're able to get in and out in about 16 weeks, and other projects just seem to really drag on.
16 weeks is fast. Yeah.
Yeah, our house is going to be built in
Not
16
weeks. No. Well, I was wondering how many of what's the ratio? Are they mostly new construction, or are they also rehab loans? I mean, rehab homes?
About half and half.
Half and half.
And then on top of doing homes for first-time buyers, we're also working with people who already own their homes that are low income to get those houses renovated so that they're able to live in them safely.
Updated to double pane windows and.
Absolutely. We look for health and safety.
Right.
Is double pane health and safety?
No,
just
but
asking.
it helps.
It depends on their issues. If they live near.
Just ask it.
It is.
Yeah.
It is for sound. It is for dust control. It is for a lot of things.
Well, for
mold.
a lot of the city loans or county loans, they are required to have double pane windows.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And of course, you can't have a deck that's falling off the house, and the railings and the pickets have to be a certain distance apart, so no one can fall through.
You would put their head through that.
I wasn't going to say that.
We're doing a lot of lead remediation.
Lead remediation,
Wow.
yeah.
Because now you're also not just in Modesto, Stanislaus County, right? You're doing other areas also, right?
Right. We do contract work out of county.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So you rely on other people to also to find houses for you, right? Occasionally, agents will find them for you, or
We
realtors.
do. Yeah, I've got some realtors on speed dial that call me up and let me know.
Great. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just have the subdivision up there. I don't know of any.
They don't do anything. I just want.
I don't know. of any
Everyone's
ongoing.
different, right? Because there's also two habitats in Merced, right?
There is.
Yeah. Two
Yeah.
separate entities
Okay.
in the same place.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this week, I know y'all know this, but the Fed cut rates, right?
Yeah. I just heard that.
What'd that do for interest rates, Betsy? Nothing. Because all that has to do is with short-term interest rates, right?
Right.
It has nothing to do with the mortgage rates. However, I did find out that mortgage rates from a year ago today are at 1% lower.
Great.
So, and they're saying that, I'm just going to throw this in there. It was on my thing to write down. Basically, they're not going to do any more lowering, right? They're going to look at it again in December, and they think that's it. And the last time they did 3 was in 95 and 98.
Nice.
What happened right after each one of those?
Recession.
That's correct, Betsy. Which a lot of people go, recession, oh no, that's
No, you're not
horrible.
supposed to say the word out loud.
It's horrible. It's actually not. I mean, every time we go, what we're going to see is lower interest rates,
Right.
which means more affordability for people to buy homes. That means homes will keep going up in value, and we're going to see that. I mean, right now, I was dealing with Sue from your office, and she's dealing with locally in our area, and she's shocked how competitive it is in the FHA range.
Right.
Like, I mean, ridiculous. People are writing
Multiple offers.
multiple offers, 14,000 over asking,
Right.
you name it, is still crazy. And she was shocked how hard it is to get an offer written in our area.
Now, what is your FHA range?
I think it's 350.
Okay. So ours is 331 too.
Yeah, and then also I think San Joaquin County is 425 or something like that. Yeah,
Wow.
and just thinking a few more months, they're probably going to raise that.
Mm-hmm. They'll readjust.
Yeah,
I know.
hopefully it goes up, not down. It usually goes up unless we're going in a unique situation where they were trying to help everybody get during that downturn, right?
Mm-hmm.
They raised it to 400 and something across the board, and then all of a sudden, 3 years later or 4 years later, they're like, "Oh, we're dropping it back to the normal," and everyone in our area went from 400 something down to 200 and something.
So a 1% drop from last year
Interest rates.
on interest rate wise, how does that change someone's payment or their qualification?
Huge. It's,
Yeah.
Things are more. You can qualify for more now versus a year ago.
Right.
And and I don't know. Your rates are set by, and even your people can't see me pointing at you. Are set by your internal, right?
Well,
It's
yeah,
zero.
it's zero.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't get any lower.
No.
So.
But I will
did
tell
listen
you
to
that because we do housing, sometimes instead of having a dinner, we find a fixer up or fix it up and sell it. We flip a house
Okay.
because that's a fundraiser,
Right.
for us.
Right.
And we just recently did that over on the west side, and we had 11 offers within 3 days, and we got 35,000 over asking.
Good.
Yeah, it was a house that somebody had lived in, and they gave back to them.
Oh, it was a donation.
They gave it back to them.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
They thought, might as well, you helped us out, help somebody else out. So they ended up turning around and selling it so we could help more people out.
Great idea.
I think it was
Definitely.
definitely. So with that being said, now, everybody's wondering, what should I do? Should I buy? Should I refinance? Yes. There's your answer.
It's a great time to buy.
Of course it is.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, up where we are, we have price reductions. So if anyone's interested
Price improvements.
in improvement,
Price improvements.
I know,
They're not
I heard that.
reductions. They're improvements.
prices have gone down.
Well, I think you never want to bring this up, but it's throughout the state now, the insurance issue.
Yes.
Right? It's not just up in Tuolumne County. It's not up in where Tahoe is. It's San Diego. It's L.A. Anywhere you back up to anything that can burn is you have an issue with insurance. So hopefully now, with that being a case, we'll have people get involved that know, hey, let's get involved and fix this so that we can get it fixed for everybody.
You know, and it's still shop around.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, this morning I received a quote for someone, and it was with a new company that they were just writing with. And I said, great, can you give me a quote on my house for that, with that company? So they're working on it.
So is it a big difference?
It was a manufactured home in a senior qualified park that I'm selling for $169,000, and she got quoted $640 for the year.
That's not bad.
No.
Not bad at all.
And there are actually homes in that area that have gotten non-renewals with companies that are big companies. And the company that they wrote with is not a large company, but I think they're going to get some business.
Well, you also got to look at how much insurance one company has in an area and how much have they been hit by fires. They're more likely to cut back. Because I remember when I got USAA up at my cabin,
right?
Everybody was shocked. I went from $2,500 plus broker fee down to $898.
Right.
And then they stopped writing above a certain point, and then I think it just matters. Just check with everybody. You never know.
Right. And also, like I said, shop around. If you don't have to file a claim, don't file a claim.
You mean never file a water claim on your house?
I don't know if it's water or not, but if you don't have to, don't do it.
Why?
Because it just gives them a reason to come out and find.
I'm just asking.
I know, to find 2 trees or 8 trees or something that they think that
you don't want them to come out and do an inspection and then say, now we don't want to be here.
Exactly.
Because I can bring that up where I had my same place up there right before the winter. We're going to go to break. I'll just eat into the break a little bit. Basically, there was a tarp on our house because they came to do flashing and the winter came. And they're like, we can't finish it. We're going to put a tarp. We'll come back first thing in March. Well, they didn't show up till June. By June, then insurance company had already come out to do their annual inspection. Right. And they pretty much canceled me. That kind of thing you're talking about?
That kind of thing. Although we did have snow into June.
Right, that was the problem. They couldn't come back out because it was covered.
Right.
All right, so let's go to break, and when we get back, we'll pick this up. If you want to get in touch with us, you can reach us at #250, say the key phrase Real Estate Jerky, and we'll talk to you when we get back. Go ahead and cough out.
There you go.
I wanted to get out.
I'm going to go to break.
I heard her hold it, and I was like, get out of here real quick. Do you always pick to come here when you're not feeling well?
As soon as I say I'll come, I get sick.
Got it. My mom's best friend from high school moved here after high school and had daughters. So I was going to ask you if you knew them.
Yeah, I really, when I first moved here, I mostly met people that were quite a bit older than I was.
Yeah.
And, the habitat finding people and stuff were older than I was. They were like my grandparents' age or my parents' age. And so I found that I was like hanging out with a bunch of people that were a lot older than I was.
Oh, I thought she was going to say bad influence.
No.
And then I'm married now. I got married 4 years ago to someone a lot younger than I am, and it's just kind of funny because it's like now for sure I feel like the grandma hanging around with all the kids.
I am the grandma hanging around with all the kids.
I'm the grandma hanging around with one kid.
I know. I just went to my 40th class reunion last month.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so what do we need to bring up in this segment? It's all about you, Anita. All right, so one of the things we didn't bring up, how does a Habitat family with no experience in history of home ownership learn what they need to do? How do they get involved? How do they find out about it? There's so many different ways we can go there.
Well, the other thing too that I think would be, for me, the most helpful from your community, from people to listen. If people have, if there's a seller that has a mission-minded heart or something like that, if they wanted to sell a piece of property for Habitat.
Okay, so right there?
Yeah.
Needs to be set online.
Yeah.
Okay. So, that's kind of where I would rather go to, like, what your audience could do instead of, like, the reality is I've got 100 times more applicants than I have houses.
Right.
I don't need to sell it.
Right.
It sells itself.
And then, so basically you could say, what I need right now is we have a lot of applicants, but what we need is more homes, more people. So if there is somebody out there, and then you can, after you say whatever you say and get them to cry.
I'll ask
then
you if
get
there's
their
a tax
phone number.
benefit for that person to donate.
Sure. And then also, just people that have special skills. I know folks that want to volunteer, they want to do something different than what they do. If you're a surgeon, you want to get out and hit a hammer. You don't want to be
No,
operating.
no.
don't want to hit hammers.
No, they do.
No.
They come. You'd be surprised.
But they
how
gotta have
many come out.
insurance. I gotta protect these
Kaiser
hands.
comes out every year with like 100 doctors, and they do an amazing job. But
Well, that's Kaiser.
But
They don't
yeah.
have medical insurance. I mean, they can just do whatever. They're great employees. I'm not knocking them. I'm just
Yeah.
saying they get to take time off for 6 weeks or whatever.
But I need people that know how to bundle up, loans so that I can send them over and have title record them. I need help. I don't have a big staff. We're a skeleton crew, and a lot of us have been there for 15 years and we're retired. Yeah.
We need to put that all in the air.
Yeah.
All right. "12 minutes this time. Again.
Okay.
It went really fast last time.
Real Estate Jerky is back on Power Talk 1360. Chew on that.
And we're back. I'm here with my guest, Anita Hellam, Executive Director with Habitat for Humanity and staff. Hey. She threw me off there.
I know.
And I'm here with Betsy Hurst-Younger.
She got her voice back.
That's right, for a second. She's the realtor from Century 21 up in Wildwood Properties, and I'm Ed Parcaut, your host. So we know how long you've been with Habitat, and we were talking during the break, and we were saying what do we want to put out there, and basically you were saying you need help.
Right.
So why don't you elaborate on that? Is that where we want to go there, Betsy?
I think so.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, I was saying, we've got a lot of buyers. We've got a lot of folks that are interested in purchasing homes. We've got more interest than we have homes available. But I need more help from the community. A lot of our longtime regular volunteers have passed away, or they've moved out of town, they've retired. And we just need to engage a new group of people that just, own that assistance the way that our old volunteers did. I'm looking for people specifically in the real estate industry that can keep an eye out on properties, for example. Sometimes there are mission-minded folks who just don't want to sell a house just to anybody. And if they knew that the house went to serve a purpose, maybe I would be a good person to reach out to. Maybe we would be able to step in and to purchase that property.
Tax deductions.
There definitely are
Yeah.
opportunities for people to get deductions. Sometimes people would prefer the deduction than actually having the extra money.
Right.
So definitely keep that in mind. And then also sometimes people just have really great special skills. Just like everybody else, we've got to bundle up our loan packages and get them to title. And we're on a skeleton crew. We've got a really small group of people. They work really hard. They do a great job, but we don't have a lot of assistance. And so if folks wanted to step in, give me a call. I'm going to just, I'm going to throw my cell number out there.
No, give me your number, how to get a hold of you twice.
So it's 209-613-0603. That's 209-613-0603. Text me, tell me you're a realtor or you're a lender and you want to help. I really am looking for folks that are able to help. And as you all know, the regs have changed. Things are tougher, they're harder. Yeah. And
Boy, have they changed.
Yeah. In the old days, winging a prayer, and that doesn't work anymore, you know?
Right. Well, and you were talking about people that don't necessarily have the skills, but they want to get out there and swing a hammer.
Right.
Yeah.
We were talking about people from Kaiser, I guess, come out, doctors.
Oh,
and
yeah, it's great. On Martin Luther King Day, so in January we have, this year I think we're going to have some event preceding, maybe the night before. But, they come out, 100, 125 doctors, and it's just crazy. They're up on the roofs. They're everywhere. They're using power tools, and I'm just thinking, please don't let that man fall through the roof. He's a pediatric, doctor. Don't let him fall through the roof. So we feel so much responsibility when they come out. But they sure help us out, and they come with money too. I mean, it costs money for us to be able to host that many people, and they pay for it. So it's really helpful.
When you guys build your river, what is it? Sorry,
River Vista.
River Vista. Maybe you could have a little bit of a bus tour, maybe, and show people what you've done.
Absolutely. We've maybe twice before we've actually done a little bus tour just to show people homes through the decades, a house here, a house there, and the families invite them through. And it's probably time for us to do something like that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, when I go to the state board meetings for the California Association of Realtors, they're usually in different areas. One time it was in near Palm Springs, another time, San Diego, another time, up here. They usually have a bus that will take several of us on an affordable housing tour. And sometimes it's a converted hotel. Sometimes it's actually converted, housing that used to be, labor workers. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And they've converted the whole thing, and they show us the playgrounds and
the migrant farm worker housing.
Yeah. Well, that was down actually near Palm Springs.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. But they've converted it, and they've converted it into a really nice looking subdivision. And a lot of it had to do with sweat equity, something very similar to what you guys are doing.
One of the things that when I first came on to the organization, I listened to the realtors and the people that I knew in the community who were telling me that they were concerned that habitat houses could bring down property values in existing neighborhoods and things like that. So I went back to my board and I said, it's really important for us to build quality housing. It's important for our product to stand up in a neighborhood. And in no way, shape, or form do we want our product to be cheapened or lessened. Mm-hmm. And so I can tell you that, I feel really good about our homes. And I love to show people tours because you can actually see the impact of having such a quality house in a neighborhood, how it kind of lifts the home around it. And we've actually had anecdotal indications that it's triggered, revitalization in some communities.
Well, do those communities have their own like HOA, or do they have the CC&Rs? Do they have rules and regs?
We only built one subdivision with an HOA.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's really it's not really great for our first-time home buyers who don't have any experience. It's a lot of responsibility for folks that are just learning how to own a home. I wouldn't recommend it, and I wouldn't want to do it again.
Are the majority younger, or are they older buyers?
So our average buyer is about 35.
So if you had a park for children and stuff like that,
with the right land, for sure. I mean, it's a balance. You don't want to go buy a tent with a family camping in it,
correct?
In order and sacrifice, their home for a park, but at the same time, you want people to have quality of life. Mm-hmm. So it's a balance.
So how much longer till River Vista? How much longer till you're finished? We have 11 done now, or 10?
Yeah, we're on our 10th right now, and so we have 11 more to do. We've been doing them onesie, one at a time, two at a time, and not a great way to go. I would love to be able to just get financing, get it built, get it done, pull out, but if we were to have some kind of fantastic donor sponsor support, if the Realtors Association wanted to have a golf tournament, anything to do to support us, the faster we can get these houses done, the better. I can tell you Title 24 has changed twice since we submitted the first set of plans. I can tell you we've had all kinds of increases. We didn't have to build sprinklers in the first house, but we're putting sprinklers in all of the houses now. So when, basically we're spending, 25, 35% more than we were before.
And then next year you're going to have to put solar in them.
Guess what? We've been putting solar for a long time. We were the first subdivision to put solar in because we're dealing with low-income folks. We want to allow them to have as much disposable income as possible. We want it to be a sustainable investment. So we try, all of our homes are Energy Star.
Nice.
Wow. Did not know that.
I didn't know it either.
Yeah, so things we need to bring up on the show. Let's see. I lost my train of thought there.
His little heart got.
Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? So why don't you give them your phone number again so people can get involved and get in contact with you, Anita?
Okay, and this is my cell, folks. Let me give you my office phone number next. So my cell phone number is 209-613-0603, and then my office number is 209-575-4585. That's 209-575-4585. And
they're already calling her.
Someone's already calling. My
already
phone
dialing.
is ringing. It's on silent, but it's moving the table.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
So what's to do with you there, Betsy? Anything new up there this week?
Oh my gosh. I listed the Mariposa Event Center, which is a 16.5 acre equestrian facility.
In Mariposa?
No.
Oh.
Well, it's Mariposa County, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's actually qualified as the large animal evacuation center. and they've got a 12-star stall barn. They've got a lit arena. They've got 2 wells. They've got 3-phase power. She's looking at it already. I know. It's gorgeous, and it's in LaGrange, and it's $650,000. And it's been shown a couple of times. No, it's not at all. If you're a dog lover, it's fenced and cross-fenced for dogs, and you can have agility events there. They have all kinds of stuff. They got an announcer's booth. They've got
Horse stalls. How many horses do they have? Places?
They have 12, and that can be a boarding facility also. Of course, there's a home on the property. It's a ranch-style home that's over 2,000 square feet, and it's got a 3-car attached garage. And then I've got, on the other spectrum, I've got a place that we reduced the price in Twain Harte, which is an active lake home, walking distance to town and walking distance to the lake. I mean, like a block from the lake. And that's down to $439,500, 5 bedrooms, 4 baths. Nice place. And then we've got another one in Tuolumne City that has been reduced down to $228,000. And it's a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath with a 2-car garage on a nice corner lot.
Yeah, I'm amazed that the price is up there. I mean, I qualified somebody for $150,000, and I was like, "You're probably not going to find anything." They found something for $110,000. Yeah, it was only 500 square feet, but still, It is a place for them to call home, and it's what they want. There's only 2 of them. There's no kids. There's nothing else. It's perfect for them, and they get. It's affordable. They can do what they want. So
I had a listing for $139,000, and we've got an offer on it.
I just think it's because for a long time there, people weren't putting those on the market, and nobody could afford it. It was all 200 plus.
Right.
Remember when I first started doing up there, everything was an average of 300 plus. I'm not saying that those aren't there. I'm just saying there's a lot of turnover.
In the peak of our market, we had nothing under $300,000.
Wow.
I mean, a mobile home maybe, but I mean a site-built house.
Well, a mobile home in a park for sale.
Right.
Not on a permanent foundation, but in a park.
No, those would be a manufactured home.
Did I say mobile home?
You said mobile home.
Well, maybe
on a permanent foundation, it becomes a manufactured.
No, and actually, technically, should I do this? June of 76, back is mobile homes.
Prior.
June of 76, this way are manufactured homes, whether they're on a foundation or not. I had a loan last night that they were signing, and it had 2 riders, a manufactured home rider and a rider that it was on a permanent foundation.
Really?
Yeah, they have 2. So, yeah, it threw me off, but yes. So we need to go to break.
Sounds good.
Is it my turn? I guess it's always my turn.
It's your turn to go to break.
All right, so, let's take a break. If you need to get in contact us, you can reach us at #250, say the key phrase, Real Estate Jerky. You can find us on the internet. You can email us at radio@realestatejerky, and we'll talk to you when we get back. One guy called me over the weekend. Right.
I should probably give him my phone number.
We will before we leave. We got 10 more minutes.
It scared me when my phone turned ringing. I went,
I know, but I was like, oh my God. Well, it's funny because I'm going to an appointment at 4 o'clock in a neighborhood where the average cost per square foot is almost $250, and the houses are larger and they're on acreage because they're in a higher end neighborhood. So,
Was there a statement there? I'm sorry.
And other houses are less than 200 a square foot. But to build one is
down for this abuse.
yeah. And then he comes up there and gives it to me even more up there. Oh my God.
Leaving the bull behind. It's Real Estate Jerky.
That's right. We're back for our final segment of the show. I'm Ed Parcaut, mortgage advisor at Lending for Living, with today's guest, Anita Hellam, executive director with Habitat for Humanity Stanislaus, and of course with Betsy Hurst-Younger. She's a realtor at Century 21 Wildwood up in Twain Harte.
That's right.
And giving me the abuse during the breaks. Right? Why are you laughing?
Well, I was wondering about the line when you just started, leaving the bull behind.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was during the break.
Yeah, okay.
You're so
didn't say it wrong. At least he didn't say it wrong.
So funny.
I know.
All right, so let's get it. During the break, we were talking about, what should we go over the last segment? And you have an example of a certain situation where you built the last house, what you could have used, or I'll let you take it. I'll just.
Sure. No, absolutely. We generally, we generally are spending about $223,000 to get a family in a house. That's about what it costs us. And so we've got to find a way to fill that hole. And the question is, are we going to coincide with a grant funding cycle and be able to get an application to fill it? Or are we going to have fundraisers? And so sometimes it's just a matter of is just raising the funds locally. With our families are required to do the 500-hour sweat equity, but if we're able to coincide with a training for an HVAC school and their students are able to come in and install the HVAC, and we're able to coordinate with trades, whether it's electricians or with the ducting and with all that stuff, it really makes a difference, and we're able to see the savings over time, and we're able to get it in. Sometimes we have to actually slow a project down to get all the donated labor in, and you have to kind of do a benefit cost analysis to decide which is more cost effective, and we're constantly juggling.
And is the typical house built on slab, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage? Is there an average or a typical?
We do our best because one of the things, there are a couple of things. One, the straighter the line, probably the less, the less the learning curve. So we try to keep as many straight lines as we can, and we try to not to put in too many bells and whistles. We actually build more we're building 3, 4, and 5-bedroom houses right now primarily. And we try to take those plans and reduplicate them in different communities when it's appropriate. We might move, an architect might change the entrance or something like that, but we want our volunteers to be able to recognize more or less what they did in the last house and be able to take that learning and bring it over to the new one. It doesn't always work out, but that's the general idea.
So in River Vista, do you have different plans for different houses, or do you have like a similar plan for each house? Are you following me? Like
A, B, C, and D, or
so we have,
or A and A.
So we have the mirror of the 3 bedrooms, so that the right side, left side, and then the same with a 4 and the same with a 5, and they're actually quite different.
So basically what you're saying is you have 2 for each 3, 4, and 5 version.
Correct.
So they look a little different. And probably paint them different colors and to make them look different.
Right. The whole subdivision's a little bit different. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
But we do have a xeriscape. We wanted to impact the environment, in a good way. So we
our listeners who don't understand, you said what?
Xeriscape. So the front yards it's one continuous design, and it's kind of like a dried riverbed, and it's got some native, California plants and stuff. It was designed.
So drought resistant.
Not everybody knows what xeriscape
right.
is.
And do they have fenced backyards?
They do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Backyards done for them also, or
no, they have to do their own
backyard.
Yeah.
It's a lot of dirt.
Yeah, it's a lot of dirt.
Right.
A lot of weeds.
Yeah.
For a while.
You'd be surprised. Folks are so happy to have their yards.
I remember my wife, and she had her house, and I met her, and a couple years later, the backyard wasn't done still. It was weeds, And then I moved in, and we redid the backyard, and then it's hard for people when they buy a new home. A lot of people want a brand new home. I mean, I'm not. I mean, this is a great thing, but even when people buy new homes in subdivisions, they don't realize you got to spend another $20-some thousand now to do your backyard.
Landscaping, yeah.
I always tell my families, don't get overwhelmed. Just block it off in a 10-foot by 10-foot, 10-foot by 10-foot squares, and just kind of work on 1 10 by 10 at a time. When you're paycheck to paycheck, you can't be doing a $20,000 backyard project.
Right. And how big's are the square footage, the lot size over at River Vista?
They're
like 5,500, 7,500?
They're closer to 6.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So the average.
Yeah.
Average new home sizes.
Right. And we were talking about average price per square foot.
Mm-hmm.
The new build sometimes is $300 a square foot. And so your square footages are how much? I mean, a 5-bedroom house has got to be pretty good size.
Are they 10 by 10 bedrooms, or are they?
They're pretty. They're not 10 by 10, but they're pretty. They're not huge, and but they're lovely homes.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
We're just trying to understand.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody has a 10 by 10 bedroom. Some have, the older homes, like we live in the older part, they have like some of the rooms are 11 by 12, and they're bigger, and some of them they're like, you built that into a room? You know what I mean? It's like a 8 by 8. It's like, that's not. It's a little small.
These called sewing rooms, bedrooms.
Exactly.
But I mean, if you've got a 1,500 square foot house and to build it new, especially with solar and the sprinkler systems and things like that that are required now, you could be spending $450,000, and you're doing it because that's $300 a square foot, right?
I don't know. You're telling the story. Get your calculator out.
Yeah, it is. And so, but you're saying it's only 200 to 225 by the time you get volunteers and sweat equity and donations and things like that.
Right.
And then you still need to knock that down.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we got about 2.5 minutes left. Anita, why don't you tell people how they can contact with you again and what you need?
Okay, so you have to listen to the whole show to get my cell number. I'm going to give you the office number.
Right.
It's 209-575-4585. If you hit extension 100, the receptionist can direct your call to the department that you need assistance with. If you want to talk to me, she'll leave me a message.
Do you have an email? If they want
I
to email
do.
you?
It's my name. It's the letter A for Anita, and then it's my last name, which is HELLAM, as in Mary, at StanislausHabitat.org.
That way somebody just wants to contact you.
Absolutely.
And then, Betsy, why don't you give out your information
In case
today?
they want to contact me.
Yes, in case, because they might want to check out that horse property.
I know. My cell phone
Because they have
number.
nothing to do for the weekend. They want to get a picnic out and go up there and help.
And we can do that. Go
Do
out
you have
there.
an open house at all up there?
Not out in that area. Not right now. We've talked about it. A couple of people have listings in that area, and give me a call or text me and find out. My number is 209-604-2609. My email is also my name, Betsy Hurst@hotmail.com, and my DRE number, which is required, is 01229794.
What's your phone number again?
209-604-2609.
And then remember, you guys, everybody can get a hold of us at #250 from your mobile phone. Say your key phrase, real estate jerky. That's the key phrase, real estate jerky. You'll go through it and you'll get right into me. So we still have a few minutes. Not minutes, but a minute. So anything coming up that we need to know about, Betsy?
Oh.
Anything in Twain County? Any parades
I
or anything?
think, weren't we going to say that we're going to have the shortest period between holidays?
Yeah, I mean, it's already
between
November.
Thanksgiving
Before
and
you know it, it'll be Thanksgiving, and before you know it, it'll be Christmas, and then
Right.
before you know it, it'll be 2020, which they're saying is the recession year.
Don't say that.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh my God.
I'm going to say this last thing. We only got a few seconds.
I'm thinking
The
positive.
issue is that is positive. It's not going to be a bad one. It's not. There's only been 2 bad ones: the Great Recession and the one back in the 80s or whatever, or 91, 92. Other than that, they've not been bad for us in California. Property values still go up, interest rates go down, people do more. It's not going to be a bad one, and we won't even know till we're out of it that we were in it. You watch, mark it here, watch it. All right, so thanks for showing up today.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Thank you.